Let's get started with the big focus today. 11 people were electrocuted as a temple chariot touches overhead power line near Thanjavur. This is one incident that happened in the wee hours this morning in Tamil Nadu. Another incident where 63 people, including 3 critically ill people, had to be evacuated when a fire broke out in a storeroom in a Chennai hospital. Let's talk about the first incident as those pictures are playing out. The temple chariot was being pulled through the street by devotees. An electric wire got entangled in it. This resulted in an electrocution which killed 11 people, including 2 children, right on the spot. In the Chennai hospital case, 3 of the several oxygen cylinders kept in the storeroom exploded after the fire broke out due to suspected electric short circuit. The 63 patients who were evacuated include 33 people from an intensive care unit. Others were from a post-ICU care unit and the normal wards in the 3-story building. These 2 incidents in close succession, viewers, happened today in Tamil Nadu. Now, what this revealed really is that the cost of human life in this country is literally worth nothing. If you go by those pictures, if you see those families shattered, the common man today is feeling as if there is no value for human life. People fall into manholes. One can be hit by a car, one can be hit by a tree, get buried under a building as it happened in Delhi, collapse under a wall, or get electrocuted by a live wire as it happened in Thanjavur. The hospital fire incident again has been a recurring issue to the extent that the Prime Minister himself was forced to take notice. 122 people have died in 29 incidents of only hospital fire across the country. So that makes it one fire literally every month on an average. Tall promises are made on a daily basis about improving our lives. Freebies are extended. Welfare schemes are announced. But what about basic safety of the citizen? That is what we are asking today in Big Focus. Why is the common man being made to navigate through these death traps? Let's welcome joining us here on the program Mr. A. Sarvanan, spokesperson of DMK, Mr. Narayanan Tirupati, spokesperson of the BJP, Kasturi Shankar, social activist, also with us this evening. Very good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Big Focus. I'll first play out the inputs that we have from different political quarters on both these incidents. Let's listen in.
Thanjavur மாவட்டத்தில் தஞ்சை ஒன்றியத்தில் களிமேடுங்கிற கிராமத்தில் அப்பர் துண்டு துண்டாக நாங்கள் 94 வருடமாக அப்பரை வணங்கிக்கிட்டு ரொம்ப சீரு சிறப்பாக திருவிழா கொண்டாடிட்டு வரோம். வரும்போது 11 மணிக்கு சப்பரத்தை தெருவில் இழுத்துக்கிட்டு தேங்காய் உடைச்சிட்டு வரும்போது திடீர்னுங்கிற திருப்புற இடத்துல மின்சாரம் மேல் லைனில் போகும்போது மின்சாரம் தாக்கி சப்பரமே திக்கு எரிய ஆரம்பிச்சிருச்சு. அதில் கரண்ட் ஆஃப் ஆனோன்னா யார் எந்த பிள்ளை அடிபட்டு கிடக்கான் கீழேன்னு இருட்டில் ஒன்றுமே தெரியல. அதனால் நான் எல்லாத்தையும் மெடிக்கலுக்கு தூக்கிட்டு வந்தோம். அதில் எங்கள் வீட்டில் இருந்த பையன் ஒரு கவிசிங்கிறவனை எனக்கே தெரியல. அவனும் ஆஸ்பத்திரியில் நான் வைத்தியம் பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. இங்கே வந்து அதிகாரி டாக்டரு டீனு எல்லா பேரும் நல்லபடியாக வைத்தியம் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. களிமேடே ரொம்ப சோகத்தில் இருக்குது. களிமேடே இனிமேல் இது இந்த சோகத்தை எங்களால் மறக்க முடியாது. இது எப்படி மறக்க முடியாது?
So I heard about it. It was the program of the local people near bordering Thanjavur. They had this cart program. They had done that. See, the state local electricity authorities have stopped electricity within the town, that area. But when the cart was pulled on the street, it touched the high tension wire on the road, which was accidental. It was not planned, which was accidental. You know how when a cart is pulled, you know how it will move. The weight of the cart will decide its direction and movement. So it was merely an accident. It was not, nobody can stop. Even if there were 100 policemen, how can they stop it? So this is a mere accident. We sympathize with the people. They had done it with good intention, but unfortunately this accident has occurred.
Around 11 a.m. today, a fire broke out at Tower 2 of the Rajiv Gandhi Government Hospital here in Chennai. And as we can see in the visuals, so this is the particular building where the fire broke out, and it's all black in color. Around 5 vehicles from the fire department are now here in the spot. They were trying to put down the fire as soon as it broke out. So right now, as we can see in the visuals, the building is completely black in color, and it was all smoke here, until a few moments back. So hundreds of police personnel and fire department personnel are right now in this spot, trying to bring the situation back to normal. And it is said that 33 patients were inside this block when the fire broke out, and all of them have been, safely evacuated to a better spot now. So they are safe now, and so far at this point of time, no casualty has been reported. No injury has also been reported. As soon as the fire broke out, all the patients who were inside this block, it is said to be 33, so they were all evacuated to a safer spot, and they are in a safe spot now. So no casualty is reported at this point of time, fortunately. But however, as we can see, the fire department personnel are still trying to put down the smoke, because the fire has actually been put out completely, but it's all smoke here inside. We cannot see the smoke outside, but inside the building it's full of smoke, and the fire department personnel, they are trying to bring the situation back to normal inside the building also. In another side of the building, this is actually the front side of the building that we are seeing in the visuals right now. So in the back side, in the other side of the building, hundreds of patients, they were also moved to a safer spot using ladders. So ladders were deployed throughout this building. Multiple ladders were deployed upon this building on the back side, and hundreds of patients, they were also moved to a safer spot.
देश में गर्मी तेजी से बढ़ रही है, और समय से पहले बहुत गर्मी बढ़ रही है, और ऐसे समय में हम अलग अलग स्थानों पर आग की बढ़ती हुई घटनाएं भी देख रहे हैं। जंगलों में, महत्वपूर्ण इमारतों में, अस्पतालों में आग की कई घटनाएं बीते कुछ दिनों में हुई हैं। हम सबको याद है वो दिन कितने पीड़ादायक थे, जब पिछले साल कई हॉस्पिटलों में आग लगी, और वो बड़ी दर्दनाक स्थिति थी। बहुत मुश्किल समय था वो। अनेक लोगों को इन हादसों में अपनी जान गंवानी पड़ी थी। इसलिए मेरे सभी राज्यों से आग्रह है कि अभी से हम विशेषकर हॉस्पिटलों का सेफ्टी ऑडिट करवाएं, सुरक्षा के इंतजाम पुख्ता करें और प्राथमिकता के आधार पर करें। ऐसी घटनाओं से हम बच सके।
Well, that is the Prime Minister appealing to the state authorities to do the needful, that such incidents are averted. Remember, this was a narrow escape for critically ill patients. They were evacuated on time, but this could have turned fatal as well. Mr. Saravanan, no value for human life. People are not safe in hospitals. They are not safe in a religious place. Who is responsible for this? Can Mr. Elangovan get away by saying that, nothing could have averted this? This is an accident. Well, the district authorities should have checked if there is a live wire exactly in that place where a chariot is going to pass through.
What has happened is a very, very tragic incident, and 11 lives have been lost due to this electrocution. No words, no consolation, no ex gratia payment can bring back those lives, and it's going to be an irreparable loss for those people.
Yes.
When we speak of this incident, such type of incidents, see, what we have to bear in mind is this. The last 2 years, there were no such festivities and no such car festival or any chariot festival that has happened in the state, of course, across the country due to COVID restrictions. And now, because everyone is out and they are enjoying a little bit of freedom due to their over-enthusiasm and all other things.
Are you blaming the people, sir? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. You seem to be suggesting that people are over-enthusiastic. Are you saying that? Are they not supposed to participate in these festivals?
No, it's not. I never suggested that. I said in their over-enthusiasm, a statement was made on the floor of the assembly that no permission was sought from the appropriate authorities. See, this is not a big festival. Usually it happens. Usually they bring the car within the village, which they do out of their own this thing. And the fire department has come out and said they have not obtained any no objection certificate from them for this thing. See, If you ask me whether this should have happened,
This
this should
has
not
been
have happened.
happening for more than 9 decades, is what my research is telling me. It
Yes,
happens every
yes,
year.
yes.
It's not something
Yeah,
that the
that's-
authorities did not anticipate.
No, that's what I'm saying. Every year it used to happen. It's not such a big event where all the protocols and all other things, where everything is in place. That is the issue. That is why I've told you they have not sought any formal permission. That is the thing. This when this is happening so long and so forth, that formal they have forgone with this formal permission, and that is why that precautions that need to have been taken, I think, was not taken.
This is
But
not
anyway,
this is not acceptable, Mr. Saravanan. Usually you make very good points in defense of your party, but today I'm sorry, what you're saying is just not adding up. You're saying permission was not sought, but you are saying that the authorities were always aware that this was going to happen. So until and unless
not
a
aware.
piece
I never
of
said they
paper
were-
comes to the
No.
office, the authorities will turn a blind eye to a religious
No,
to
it's
the
not about
safety
that.
of the
No.
people participating in this event?
See, that's what it is, an unfortunate incident. Nobody could have foreseen this. This definitely did not happen because of the negligence of the authorities.
It did happen,
If it
I'm
is-
sorry.
No,
It did
no,
happen
no,
because of
no,
negligence, because
no,
you're supposed to have
I
checks
beg
and
to differ.
balances in place
No,
when
no,
so
no, I
many
beg to
people
differ,
are
Afrida.
participating in a temple
that's
town
what Afrida-
for
that's what
a
Afrida-
revered
Afrida-
saint of Tamil Nadu. You are supposed to provide adequate security, sir. How can you wriggle out of
Security,
that?
That's what. There is no point. If there is the security was provided, there is no question of security or not security. This accident could not have been
Safety and
foreseen.
security. Safety
That's
as
what.
well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This accident could have never been foreseen.
That
That is
we
the
do
thing.
understand. Incidents do happen, but the authorities
that is why-
failed
see, that is
to
why
create a
this
safe
should not happen
environment
again.
for the devotees.
Yes, Afrida.
That
Yes,
is what I'm
Afrida.
saying, sir.
Not-
Please
yes,
accept that the administration failed to create a
No,
safe
no.
environment to observe this festival for the devotees. Please
Yes,
accept.
the chief minister has come out and said that a committee is going to be formed which will ensure that these kind of incidents never happen in the future.
Okay, Mr. Tirupati, how do you respond to that? Incidents happen. You heard Mr. Ellen Govind saying this is nobody's deliberate attempt. They are shocked and sorry for it. But the fact is, you heard the member of parliament there saying that there was nothing that could have been done to avert it, because this is a case of an electrocution that could have happened. No one could have foreseen it, is what Mr. Saravanan is also saying.
No, there is no point in defending a government here, because the thing is that the police station, the limits, they should have definitely, under their jurisdiction, they should have returned to the concerned departments within 1 month, before 1 month, that about the this function or the festival, to the Public Works Department and also to the Electricity Board, stating that proper arrangements and security aspects should be covered. That is the duty of the police station there in that village. But I think that has not been done. So somebody has to take responsibility, and who should take responsibility? Maybe if they have not informed the management, even if the management has not, the temple has not informed, it is the duty of the police and the government to protect the people who are in the streets. That is what the law says. I think my dear friend Saravanan is a lawyer. He knows that the law and order is definitely a state subject. The government has to definitely, it should have taken care, and definitely the government has failed.
Think
here.
about the families, sir. Think about those 11 families. Today, we have to, realize that this is not a mere statistic that is running on our screen. These are 11 families, by the way, who are shattered today. And why? Because they decided to attend a religious festival in the honor of a Tamil saint, if I'm not mistaken. That was their mistake today.
Actually, that's what I mean. We have lost 11 lives. We have to understand 11 families are in a very big situation. 15 people are in the hospital. So the minister today in the assembly said that this is without the knowledge of the government it has happened. But whereas the Central Zone IG, Mr. Balakrishnan, when speaking to in another Times Now channel, even I was there, he said that the electricity board the engineers and the officials were there in this spot, but I have not heard about any police officials in that vicinity during this festival. Number two is that this is not a chariot festival, as you all say. It is a platform like, structure in which each and every temple will have, and the idol will be taken throughout the streets. So whatever happened is definitely the negligence of the management, the temple, the local authorities. Definitely, the state government, Mr. Stalin, the chief minister, should act fast, and he should make people accountable. Who is responsible for this? So that
Safety
it
in
will
public
occur.
places, safety in religious places, this is the very basic that a citizen deserves from the elected government. The taxpayer, the least that he or she can get is safety when he is out on the roads. That's not happening. Kasturi Shankar,
It should not occur again.
how do we address this? And I want you to comment on both the instances, on this instance of the chariot getting electrocuted, and also, of course, the other case of a hospital fire again, where thankfully there are no fatalities, but happening over and over and over again across cities.
I'm going to start with the chariot festival at Kalimedu, the upper Tiruvizha, and just no words to express the grief. I don't know how to condole the families that have been bereaved. It is just a complete disaster, and it will be forever a blemish on the Tiruvizha in years to come. And that is why I have to ask the question to Mr. Saravanan, my friend, about permissions not being taken, and this has not been, this has happened under the eyes, without the knowledge of the government. I find that difficult to digest when such a statement is made, because this is a very famous festival. It has been an annual occurrence almost 100 years. I believe this is the 94th year.
Yes.
So every year it happens at the same time. And while science has progressed, in the beginning, 100 years ago, there may not have been high tension wires running through the village outskirts. But today, it is there. And when everybody knows, and when a festival happens, ma'am, I would like to tell people who are watching, it is not a secret. It doesn't suddenly happen on the day of the festival. There are posters all over town. There are donation drives happening well in advance. Every cop who was on duty today, they would have known about it well in advance. So absolutely, the highways department, the electricity department, the rural electrification department, everybody will know. These are all not people living on Mars. They are all living in that area only. So they will know. And it should have been a suo motu action on the part of the government to take all necessary steps well in advance of a festival of this stature. It's a huge festival. You have to, the government has to go and make sure all safety protocols are in order, and especially in such cases. This is why they have to do it. This is why protocols are in place. Protocols have been ignored, and I don't think you can give excuses for that.
Absolutely. Mr. Saravanan, please respond and also tell me about the hospital case where it is a matter of sheer good luck and fate that people were evacuated on time. Even there, it could have turned into a major disaster. Yes. What steps can be taken? Very quick response.
Yeah. See, definitely, this fire incident at the hospital is also raising a lot of concerns.
Yes.
Because the genesis of the thing, and especially in the hospital, we have seen horrible incidents across the country where this thing, it's very, very fortunate that there is no loss of life. And definitely, it's like, looks like it is at the library. I think library, probably a short circuit or other thing. That is the reason. This is what they have said initially. This has to stop. And steps will be taken by this government to ensure that, especially in the hospitals, I think the Supreme Court has also passed several orders touching upon this, what safety measures and what other things should take place there. And definitely all those measures and whatever other safety protocols that need to be included, all those will be included, and the government will ensure that this kind of incidents does not happen in the future. And when we go to this temple festival, see, it's not the local. It is the incident had taken place because it touched upon the live high tension wire. So high tension wire, usually it does not lie low. It is at a big distance. It's on a greater height. Due to the way this car was just went imbalance, it went and touched that high tension wire, and that is why this accident had taken place. So this is a lesson learned. Of course, it is a very, very dear and costly lesson. At the loss of 11 lives, nobody would have wanted this, but this is the lesson learned.
Yes, and we must also understand that this ex gratia is not something that can compensate for the lives of the people. Two children among the 11, two young kids.
Yes.
Mr. Tirupati, quick last word before I close.
Just a minute.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead. Let Mr. Saravanan finish. Quickly, please.
Yeah. This ex gratia payment has been made, but of course that can never bring back the lives or give solace to the families. The Chief Minister is there. He has gone through the situation. He has appointed a committee. I think we can be assured that no such incidents will happen in the future.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Tirupati, it's not just Tamil Nadu. The central government also has a responsibility. It is appreciated that the PM has taken note of the hospital fire cases. But across states, the civic apathy, and that's what we are running on our screens as well, is the civic apathy that is killing citizens.
Authorities did not anticipate.
Mr. Tirupati.
As far as the hospital is concerned, Tamil Nadu's, particularly the Madras GH, Rajiv Gandhi General Hospital, is one of the best in the world. We need to understand this, and definitely the State Health Secretary, the State Health Minister, and also the Dean of the General Hospital had rushed to this place, and they have definitely saved a lot of lives. We have to appreciate and congratulate for them. But the thing is that I learned from media that the fire certificate was not available in the building. If it is so, it is a very serious matter. The state government has to see to it that proper protocols are maintained and all safety things are followed. And as far as again the temple car festival chariot, it is for the state government to fix who is to be accounted, who needs to be punished. Otherwise, this should be done for the thing that.
Yes, absolutely. When it comes to the health and safety of the citizens, the authorities cannot be caught napping. 11 lives snuffed out today. This is inexcusable. 2 incidents in Tamil Nadu today that we have covered, and both equally shocking in the way the authorities remained inactive to this kind of a situation. In one case, of course, it looked like a situation waiting to happen. Clearly, there could have been a safer environment created for the devotees in Thanjavur. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. A. Saravanan and Tirupati, and Ms. Kasturi for joining us this evening.